All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. I'd also like to give double honors to my elders, bishops, and apostles of Great Millstone that do well. And I would like to say peace and salutations to the Lord's elect, to the hopeful elect in the 1/3, and Adonai Tazah. This lesson will be edifying as well as exhorting to the sincere sheep of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. And the Wadi Habashim Ashai Bahashem Rakakwadash for giving me the inspiration to do this lesson. And as the title reads, Lies, Camera, and Action. All right. And pretty much I want to go into a quick update. All right. You just had breaking news. Donald Nero Trump has said that there is a ceasefire. Okay. Let me get like this. Let me go right here. We'll go here. Actually, let's refresh this too. Let me see what we got, what they're saying. Yep, right here. Okay. The times of Amalek. They've been at a war for 627 days. Nero says Amalek and Persia have agreed to complete and total ceasefire. Agreement will take full effect in 24 hours. U.S. President says bringing about an official end to the bringing about official end to 12-day war. Okay, well, whether or not this is a ceasefire at the present moment, we know according to prophecy that there will be not peace until the true children of Israel, the elect, are delivered and then come back down in new bodies to govern the world. Okay, govern these heathens in this world, all right, by the orders of Yahweh Bashem El Shai. So there will not be true peace until the children of Israel get released. All right, so they can say whatever they want. All right, they can push notions. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors when it comes to war. The world is a stage. So I got a few things I want to show you, but at the end of the day, let me read this real quick. All right, as you know, okay, so it's all good. All right. But if you don't have these precepts, all right, if you don't have the breakdowns and understanding the tempo of how this works, then you're going to be tossed to and fro. You're going to go here and think, okay, it's peace and safety. And then boom, sudden destruction. Now, I will say this. All right. It makes sense for them to be in talks of a ceasefire because for the third woe to fully kick in the full gear, you need the mandatory marking. Okay, so even though they're saying peace and safety, this does not mean that prophecy is not going to be fulfilled, and we won't have World War III in our lifetime. No. Okay, this is the councils of the kings talking, but the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. This is Revelations 1 and 3. Blessed is he that readeth. So it's a blessing for us to read as well as understand. Okay, that this is all the Lord's will at the end of the day. It says, and they that hear the words of this prophecy and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. So no matter what man does, tries, or completes, the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is going to take place. So it's beautiful that that this actually came out. Okay, Nero announces Amalek and Persia have agreed to a ceasefire. Yeah, that doesn't mean that war and the rudiments, the necessary people. Okay, that doesn't mean that now this isn't going to be a third world war. All right, this is actually going right along with as we were already told. This is why it says that things written aforetime were written for our learning. So exactly, they should be saying peace. Why? Well, I'm going to read it for you. 1 Thessalonians 5 and 1, but of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. So there is a portion of us as Israelites, as sincere servants, that are being inspired, okay, to constantly stay locked in, watching, observing, analyzing, prophesizing, studying, okay, watching what's going on pertaining to prophecy. So this is why a lot of times this is preaching to the choir, but you have new believers that are waking up that may not know this or may not have the answers that you have. It says, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. meaning unexpectedly, because right now everyone is kind of, ooh, that was getting intense. I was getting close, guys. But this is why it says the Lord cometh as a thief in the night. Now watch. For when they shall say peace and safety, when they shall say cease fire, okay, everything's okay. We're working it out. Everything is peaceful and secure. When they say peace and security, then sudden destruction will come upon them like labor pains on a pregnant woman, and they will not escape. So right now, man is thinking that he can self-govern himself and ride off safely into the sunset, but that's not the case according to prophecy. Look, since Amalek is in the news, for when they are saying shalom and safety, when they're saying shalom and safety, shalom, then sudden destruction will come on them like birth pains on a pregnant woman, and they will in no way escape. So we could have something happen to Babylon. There could be a double F. It could actually cool down for a little bit, but then something else is going to pick it back up. Remember, the least of the flock, it draws Babylon out for utter destruction. It don't say that the least of the flock, being Amalek, draws Babylon out and then they don't go to war. No, it says it'll lay the land desolate. Okay, it says they'll lay the land desolate. This is why we stick to the scriptures. Let's go to Jeremiah 50 and is it 45? Let me see right. Yeah, look at this. Jeremiah 15:45. Therefore, hear the counsel of Yahweh Shem Shai, not the counsel of man. Okay, not the counsel of man. See, man prides itself on man's own functions. Man acts like man is doing what man wants to do. Wrong. Okay, wrong. This is all the will of the Lord. Okay, so you have people right now that are actually at ease, thinking that everything's going to be okay. Trump saved the day. Wrong. We got prophecy here, people. Okay, prophecy trumps Nero. No pun intended. It says, therefore, hear the counsel of Yahweh Shem Shai. Right? Who's going to stand? The will of man or the will of the Lord? That he has taken against Babylon. Babylon is America. And his purposes, that he has purpose against the land of the Chaldeans, the global elites. Okay, surely Amalek, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. So prophecy lets us know that Amalek is going to do something, as we see it's doing now with Persia, which is going to ultimately draw Babylon out into a third world's war. And in that third world's war, after the mandatory marking of the MOTB, will lead to the nations fighting against Amalek and Babylon to utterly destroy Amalek and Babylon together. So that's fine that right now man is saying peace and safety, because they're supposed to say peace and safety. But remember what Yahweh Shai said, there'll be wars and rumors of war, but the end is not yet. So we need this to happen. So now we're waiting for the next phase of prophecy, which is ultimately going to be the mandatory marking. Now, before I even continue, what I want to do is I had looked this up. Smoke and mirrors meaning. It says something that seems good but is not real or effective. Now, guess what? The scriptures also say never trust thy enemy. Okay, so your enemy is telling you ceasefire. Your enemy is saying, okay, I won't do nothing. This is the perfect time to attack. Letting your enemy know that you aren't going to attack anymore. So if they get attacked, you'll say, well, we agreed to a ceasefire. Remember, the words of his mouth are smoother than butter, but war is in his heart. Okay? This is Ecclesiasticus 12:10. Never trust thy enemy. Even though your enemy says peace and safety or ceasefire or waves the white flag, that's how he fights. He fights dirty. He wants you to play by the rules so he can play dirty, so he gets the advantage, because at the end of the day, prophecy is going to play out. So never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Look, though he humble himself, shalom, shalom. Yes, we stand with you. See, remember, we're talking about Amalek here. Amalek attacks the young and the old. Remember, who came out and attacked us as we were fleeing? Who was hitting the old and the young? Okay, let me actually ask Google to check myself. I want to give you that one too. All right. So for the brothers and sisters out there, this should not phase you. Did Amalek attack Israel? Yep. Or no. Did Amalek attack Israel? Israel fleeing Egypt. Let's see what it says. See what they got for us. Yes, the Amalekites attacked the Israelites as they were fleeing Egypt. So imagine someone chasing you as your family picks you up from jail, and as you are running away, they're attacking your loved ones too. Specifically, this attack is described in Exodus 17 and 8 through 13. The Amalekites ambushed the Israelite at Rephidim following their escape from Egypt. According to the Bible, the Israelites, led by Moses, eventually defeated the Amalekites in battle. But remember what Amalek did unto thee. So Amalek still has to pay for what they did to us leaving Egypt once we get back into our land. But the point is, this is an aggressor. These are Edomites that are aggressors. Okay, and they attack old and they attack young. Wars in their heart. Never trust thy enemy. They want you to say, hey, cease fire. Let's take a second. And then that's when he strikes. That's how he operates. But that's how the scriptures say this is how things will happen. So just because it's peace and safety, just because it's ceasefire, does not mean prophecy's not going to get fulfilled. Now we're actually expecting the unexpected. Now, since I said that, let's go back. Smoke and mirrors means something that seems good. Oh, this is good. Shalom and safety. But it is not real or effective. And that is done especially to take attention away from something else. This is why they pushed the Diddy trial. This is why they pushed the Tyler Perry trial. This is why they were doing some other trial. This is why they do certain things, because they want you, look over here, look over there. Hey, look over here. They want to keep you confused. This is why you're seeing AI generated videos of bombs dropping and they're not even real. Okay, this is why you got to fact check everything. This is why you got to watch what you're watching on TikTok. You got to be effing careful, man. Okay, we've been given a very, very beautiful office through the Holy Spirit, and we are the ones that have to be the truthers in the midst of land of lies. And the only way you are going to look as if you are a truther is sticking to the script, sticking to the will of the Lord. Okay. We don't focus on little weird bugged out shit. And some woman made a book in the 90s about the vid uno nueve. That don't matter. We focus on the prophecies that are going to lead to us going home and Babylon being destroyed. Okay. And it says, especially to take attention away from something else that is embarrassing or unpleasant. So, expect more Hollywood drama, expect, that's why they want you to focus on couples and who's having a baby and this reality show. See, they're all about getting you distracted, keeping you confused. Okay, keeping you at the edge of the seat and then putting you back to sleep. Crying wolf, then there is no wolf. But guess what? There's going to time come where even Esau is going to be in straits in the midst of, even though the world was given into the hand of the wicked. Let me break it down like this. Let me show you just like this. Okay, Job. All right, where are you at? So Job 9. Okay, even though the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked. Now watch this. He's also going to be in straits himself as he's attempting his new world order. You got to understand, with the MOTB, he is going to use chaos to bring in the ultimate order, which will be the M to the O to the TB. Now, real quick, I'm going to show you two things. Okay, now watch this. Job 20. Okay, right quick. Okay, let me see. Yes, right here. Okay, so even though Job 9 and 24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, Esau, Edom is the border of wickedness. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. This is why you have the Renaissance, also known as iconoclasm or whitewashing. And he also has left his historical fingerprint by painting the judges so-called white, because if it was anybody else except for people that call themselves so-called white, then the judges or the pictures of these judges would be painted a different color. So the faces of the judges thereof, if not, then where and who is he? See, so who's the wicked of the earth? Who's been given the earth right now? The wicked, who's Esau, Edom. So with him having the earth, now he has the mindset, because the deceived and the deceiver are his, meaning they are Yahweh Bashmel Shai. Now Esau is deceived, thinking that he could actually establish a new world order, to where in this new world order he will continue forever and be control over everyone forever. Hence why he's also pushing a mark to try to get his birthright back. Then he's trying to show that Jacob is not serving his God. So this guy is super deep, super bugged out, super delusional, super demon. So in the midst of him attempting all of this, the world is a stage. Remember, the world is a stage, because the earth was given to the hand of the wicked. All right. So you got smoke and mirrors. You can they've had ghost armies. You got a lot of I don't know, we don't know conspiracies. We know prophecy is going to be fulfilled. So as he's doing all this kind of wizardry, magic, rumors to gain the advantage over the people, to keep them guessing, Job 20 and 22, in the fullness of his sufficiency, in the fullness of his agenda, swinging, gotten people guessing, Googling, no, he shall be in straits, every hand of the wicked, which is the laborer, shall come upon him. So people are going to fight back in the midst of him attempting his new world order. Now, some people, majority of people are going to give in, but you're also going to have other people, Amal, which is labor, where people are going to fight back against him. See, labor, the working class. Okay, so even though the earth has been given to the hand of the wicked isn't just going to be out here being wicked and throwing 40-yard touchdown passes every wicked play. Nah, hell nah. So he can act right now and feel like he's cool, but because guess what? Let me get Daniel. Did I already have it up? Yep, right here. Because guess what? Daniel 4 and 17, this matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know. Anybody on planet earth that want to know, need to know, think they do know, we going to tell you what it is right now. That may know that Yahweh, the Most High, Yahweh Bashmel Shai, ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over the bases of men. So who you call God put Trump in office. Deal with that. But the point is, just because Trump is saying this, just because Persia may be saying that, and just because Amalek is agreeing, don't mean that's going to stop prophecy. In actuality, this is furthering fulfilling prophecy by making the world think that there's peace and safety being restored yet again. Wrong. This is why he says he comes as a thief in the night. Okay, now going back, I also want to share you this, okay, because in the midst of war, there's a lot of confusion, there's a lot of guessing, there's a lot of lies. During World War II, or the Second Woe, the Babylonian army employed top secret unit known as the Ghost Army. It says to deceive Teman forces. This unit utilized a variety of tactics, including inflatable tanks, fake radio traffic, and sound effects to simulate a much larger force and mislead the enemy about the location and size of Allied troops. Exactly. And this is why it's also being rumored that when Persia retaliated on Qatar, a Babylonian military base in the so-called Middle East, they said that it wasn't a strike to destroy, but it was more an attempt to show force for theatrics. Okay, so an average person doesn't know what to think right now. An average person doesn't know how war works. An average person doesn't know how world war works. The average person doesn't understand geopolitical economics or policies or politics. They don't know these things. So all they hear now is peace and safety. Let me get back to my normal loser, useless eating life. Wrong. Prophecy still going to be fulfilled, but if somebody said, well, why is it peace and safety? Because we need the MOTB to be implemented. But guess what? Something else is going to happen. More attacks are going to happen because the other mingled nations like Ishmael, okay, have to be drawn into this, have to be drawn to the Levant. Something with the Strait of Hormuz, something has to happen to continue the conflict to increase. And it tells you sudden destruction. So something's going to happen to someone where they're going to call peace and safety off. Something's going to happen to cause NATO to hate the whore. Now they're in talks of initiating Article 5 according to NATO, which means basically if any member of NATO is attacked, it's as if there's a quote. It says, if one of the king's men is attacked, it's as if you are attacking the king himself. So they're initiating Article 5. Let me show you that real quick. Okay, so yeah, we got that. Let's put NATO, Article 5. Okay, it says Article 5 establishes the principle collective defense, stating that an armed attack against one or more NATO members shall be considered an attack against them all. And now this just came to my mind. Now, what about them talking about the cells that are sleeping? Now, what if something happens in Babylon that now takes peace and safety off the table, which then now they point the finger and make it seem like now Persia is the aggressor? See, you got to watch the enemy. All it takes right now is some Ishmael Muslim so-called domestic attacks for them to say that they're being, they're being lied to. Esau is a professional victim. Okay, Esau Edom is a professional victim. His whole game is the blame game. So I don't trust it for a second. Okay, I don't trust it for a second. I'm not saying that they're not agreed to peace and safety or ceasefire, but what I am saying is we're also in a time where Esau's going to act like he's trying to bring peace, and then this is the perfect time for either Amalek or Babylon to be attacked, for them to go full force. We tried to bring peace. We wanted the world to be no. Remember, war was in his heart. Let me grab that too. Let me see what else I got for you. We got that. Oh, let me get this for you. 2 Peter 1:19. It says, we have also a more sure word of prophecy. See? Whereunto ye do well that ye take heed. So if you're not taking heed to what we're telling you through the Rakak Wadash, what Yahal Bashmel Shai Bashim Rakak Wadash is telling to you, okay, you're not going to be doing too well if you don't take heed to this. You're going to get bugged out. You're going to get tossed to and fro. You're going to believe your enemy. And now your ass is wearing military fatigues taped to a side of a tank going to war. Okay, it says, as unto a light that shineth in a dark place until the day dawn and the day star arise in your hearts, knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scriptures is of any private interpretation. So you're going to start seeing more private interpretations. Everyone wants to be a prophet now. Everybody's trying to tell you this. I just seen some the other day talking about, what the hell would they say? It was something so bugged out. I don't even want to try to repeat it. But the point is, none of these people know what they're talking about. All right, you got Christians believing that this is gonna bring in peace, and so they can bring in the third temple, and yeah, right. You're dealing with the enemy. Ultimately, you're dealing with the Lord. Let me get this for you. Isaiah 46:11, is it? Let me see. Isaiah 46. Yep, Isaiah 46:10, declaring the end from the beginning, and from the ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, "My counsel shall stand." See. Wait a minute, my counsel shall stand. We just read Jeremiah. It said, hear the counsel of the Lord. Wait a minute. It said, my counsel shall stand, right? Let me get out of this right here. My counsel shall stand. Look, therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord. And where is it? Right there. The counsel of the Lord is that the least of the flock is going to draw Babylon out for them both to be desolate together. Okay? So, declaring the end from the beginning, from the ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. There you go. Okay, so no matter what man is telling you, we're telling you what the Lord is going to do. And the angels, as Elder Pastor Har said in the lesson I watched earlier, the angels are the referee. So it doesn't matter that they're saying peace and safety. Something's going to happen for the Lord to have Russia, Magog think an evil thought. Something's going to happen to put hooks in our jaws and turn them back. Something's going to happen, and something's going to lead to prophecy being fulfilled. That's how it's coming out, okay? So you got to understand you're dealing with a warlike people, all right? And at the end of the day, you can't trust this enemy, and you can't trust him saying peace, peace, peace. That's actually a lie. Is that Psalms 51 or Psalms 55? Let me see. Psalms 55 and 19, is it? Psalms 55 and Psalms 55 and 21. It says, look, 20. He has put forth his hand against such as be with peace with him. So Persia could be saying, okay, peace, shalom and peace. And then guess what? He's broken that covenant. He broke that agreement. He broke that treaty. Just because he's saying peace don't mean he's going to be peaceable with you. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter. Right here. The Amalek, you can't trust Amalek and Trump. You can't trust an Edomite. You can't trust an Edomite. Okay. Let me go back. Okay. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. He still has a plan to attempt a new world order. Okay. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. So no matter what he's saying, he'll break that covenant. No matter what he's saying, there's gonna be some conflict still. All right. So I just wanted to touch on that real quick. All right, this is breaking news. There, people are actually believing that there is a peace and safety or there's a ceasefire, but the scriptures already let us know that when they say peace and safety, that's when sudden destruction happens. So we're going to watch, we're going to wait, and we're going to see. But either way, either day, prophecy is going to get fulfilled. Okay. So just watch out. Keep your head on a swivel, keep your spiritual eyes open, understand who you're dealing with and the tactics that they use, smoke and mirrors, ghost armies, economic hitmen, double Fs, okay, double agents. Okay. You got a lot of things happening, man. But we know what needs to happen. While a lot of things are happening, we know what is going to happen and what needs to happen for ultimately the destruction of Babylon with Amalek and the elect being delivered as they force a mandatory marking and a destruction of Babylon in the Third World War. So we're going to watch, we're going to see, and we're going to let it play out. But man's goings are of the Lord at the end of the day. So I'm going to leave it there. I pray that this lesson was comforting. It was insightful. It was enlightening. It brought clarity, okay, to the smoke and mirrors. It brought insight to the confusion and dust that Esau banks off to keep people, okay, in a disarray. So this is why wisdom and knowledge is our stability. So with that being said, I just want to say, real quick, tonight's the Sabbath. What's today? Monday, right? Is today Monday? Geez, I'm Monday to Tuesday, and then there's the new moons tomorrow. So the Sabbath will be Monday to Tuesday, and then it will continue at sundown from Tuesday to Wednesday. So this is the last Sabbath for this moon, and the new moon tomorrow will commence. And then for the rest of this moon of this month being moon, it will be Tuesday to Wednesday. All right, so I just want to say, call halal, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, the Wadiya Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, for giving me the inspiration to do this lesson. Double honors to my elders, bishops, and apostles who I've learned this truth from. And I also want to say peace, safety, and salutations to the Lord's elect, which is the 144,000, including the 1/3, which do consist of men, women, and children. To you, I say shalom. With that being said, shalom.